Welcome to the FNS channel. I'm Brian Nunez, and this is episode 3, The Power of Thinking Small for Big Time Results. Really, the compound effect is about doing the small little things done consistently over time. And that's really what today's message is all about. It's about thinking small for big time results. Now, I've had a chance to talk to people over the last couple weeks, and I probably had this conversation with about 15 people at least, just in the last 2 weeks. Now, if I look at the last year and the last 5 years and 10 years, it's literally thousands of people. And I always have the same conversation with people. When we talk about it, I'll ask them, I'll say, how are things going? How are you going towards your goals right now? Where's your focus right now? What are the things that you want to accomplish? And the answer is always the exact same. There's like 50 things people are trying to get done. It's the second we get motivated, our natural instinct is to try to change everything to change everything. We've got to understand and start embracing the idea of thinking small for big results. Now, we talk about all the time, you got to have a vision, you got to dream big. But in order to accomplish these goals, in order to accomplish this vision, you've got to have a think small mentality. And I'm going to explain what that means today. It's really about this compound effect. And when I'm talking about the compound effect, it's about big changes that are done over a short period of time, but most importantly, that are done consistently. See, that's the biggest difference. It's about small changes, right? It's about small changes that you do consistently every single day. That's a compound effect. They add up. It's the daily deposit. It's just like saving money, right? You want to buy a house, you can't just put $50,000 in the bank account, right? You start off with putting $10, $100, $50, $500, $1,000. And it slowly and gradually builds up into that compound effect. Now, whether that's with your health or with your wealth or with anything that you're trying to grow in your life, we've got to embrace this concept. Now, I want to share a book that I highly recommend that you all read. It is one of my top books that I've ever read. It's The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And I want to share with you a quote real quick that's from his book, and it's so powerful. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. The most successful people that I know, guys, aren't doing crazy shit every single day. They're not. They're not doing epic, monumental, game-changing strategy stuff every single day. They just consistently do the things that they need to do every day to get them a little bit closer. Now, the difference between people who always have failures and always people have success is what they have in common is they both hate the same things. Like they both hate the same things. But the difference of people who have success and those who don't have success, who quit, who tap out, is the ones who have success, they just do them every single day. And one of the big things that I've had a chance to talk about and with a lot of our athletes over the last couple of weeks is when I ask the question, what's your focus this week? And every single person that I've talked to in the last 15 days, it's been the same thing. They've given me like 5 major game changers. I'm going to eat perfect this week. I'm going to cut out all of my alcohol. I'm going to have no sweets. I'm going to the gym 5 times. I'm going to go to the gym 5 times this week. I'm going to prepare all my meals. Like, what the hell? I'll tell you what, guys, that's trying to change everything overnight. And I always will stop people and say, okay, I love the list. I love the ambition. I love the desire of us to get better. But I have to be real and honest. Is this a pattern that we've been in over and over and over again? If we're at a certain place right now that we maybe don't like, that we want to change something up, don't do what you did before. Otherwise, you're going to get the same results. If you always do what you've always done, you're going to always get what you've always gotten. So to think that you can change anything by repeating the cycle, but doing what you did before, well, that's the way I approach it. I'm going to go all in. Yeah, you go all in, you may see results for a short amount of time, but then what's going to happen is that the second you stop, you lose them. Pounds start coming back, body fat starts increasing, our strength starts going away, we start losing motivation, and then what happens is that we've got momentum shifting in the other direction. See, momentum is neither good nor bad. And it could either be good or bad. You either have great positive momentum in one direction or really bad momentum in another direction. So for us, it's not about going from here, like I'm ready to change, I'm motivated, boom, and then we go to here. Don't take that approach. That approach, and if you've taken it before and you haven't sustained it, and if we've gone here and we've dropped down, there's nothing more demotivating than that. So this is the thing, is that we want to break the cycle. We want to break the pattern. We've got to start doing things differently. And in order to start doing things differently, we've got to start thinking of doing it differently. We've got to change our state. You cannot change everything to change everything. It'll happen for a short term, but it's not sustainable. And there's nothing more frustrating than something not being sustainable. We're trying to break the cycle, and we're trying to do this for the long haul. So what I want to encourage you guys is to pick one thing. One thing. Because when you change, you can change everything by changing one thing. And that's the mindset that I want you guys to think small. And when I say think small, I mean if you have a list of things, I'm not encouraging you to take a big list. I'm encouraging you to take a small list. You only have so much energy, you're gonna dilute yourself. So pick one thing when it comes to family and relationships. Pick one thing when it comes to career and work. Pick one thing when it comes to personal self. Pick one thing when it comes to health. Master that one thing. Every habit we focus on, every habit we change, in order to move on to the next one, it needs to be as simple as brushing your teeth. Like, it needs to be as simple and as powerful as brushing your teeth. And I'll say this example is because if I asked you guys right now, hey, I need you to not brush your teeth for the next 5 days, you'd look at me like I was nuts. You'd look at me like I was crazy. Like, hell no, I'm not gonna brush my, of course I'm gonna brush my teeth. I'm gonna do this. I know why it's so important to me. I know why I need to do it. The health benefits, I'm gonna walk around with stink breath. No one's gonna wanna talk to me. It's gonna be very gross and awkward and uncomfortable. And so you guys know the importance of something like that. But when you gotta look back, when you were a kid, with Isabella, my daughter, it's not ingrained in her yet. She needs to be held accountable. Every single day I have to go in there and I give her a chance to brush her teeth herself, and then I help her out brushing her teeth. It's not ingrained in her yet to do this. Now we forget, like that was us when we were 3 years old and 4 years old, that we had to have somebody keep us accountable, but it was one thing, it wasn't 50 things at that point. So, where I'm getting at is that whatever habit we're trying to change, it needs to be as powerful now as somebody telling you to stop brushing your teeth. Because if we're trying to change 50 things at once, it's distracting, it's disrupting, it's very hard. And what happens is that you don't actually change it. You change it for a short amount of time, but then what happens, it comes back. We're trying to build habits for the long haul. And the only way we can build long, lifetime, sustainable habits like brushing your teeth is when you go an inch wide and a mile deep. And by doing that one thing, guys, I guarantee you, the needle will move. Body fat percentage, weight loss, your happiness, your stress level, sleep. I guarantee you, by just doing one thing and putting all your energy on that until you've mastered it, like the power of brushing your teeth, I guarantee you things are gonna change. And what happens is then you now focus on the next thing. Focus on the next thing. Think about it. If you just focus on one thing a month in each of those categories, you'd have major changes done. You'd have major changes done in 3 months. 3 lifetime habitual changes you would have in 3 months. Think 6 months. Think 12 months. Think if you were dialed in, drinking your water, you had enough veggies every single day. That was one of your focus. You cut out the sugar intake. You're not drinking soda, Diet Coke, any of this junk like that, all this processed stuff. You focused on one thing at a time. In a year is monumental. You can make major changes, but you've got to embrace this idea of thinking small. Thinking small leads to big time results, only when done consistently.